What if I could change the path of time? What if I had the power to decide? What if I could make us unify? What if I could open up the doors? What if we could help each other more? What if I could make you all believe? If we What if we all opened our arms? What if we came together as one? What if we aimed to stop the alarms? What if we chose to bury our guns? Why don't we always reach out to those who need us the most? Together we can change the path of time. Together we have power to decide. The answer lies within our hearts and minds. Together we can make a better place on this little island out in space. Together we can change the world forever. What if we all opened our arms? What if we came together as one? What if we aimed to stop the alarms? What if we chose to bury our guns? Oh, let's unite and make a change. Let's unite and write a new page. Common sinners, common saints, have faith. Why don't we always reach out to those? What if we all opened our arms? What if we came together as one? What if we aimed to stop the alarms? What if we chose to bury our guns? Yeah, let's unite and make a change. Let's unite and write a new page. Common sinners, common saints, have faith. Why don't we always reach out to those who need us the most?
Welcome to Speak to Inspire Vietnam. Thank you for joining this official launching event organized by Point Avenue in partnership with Netflix and U.S. Embassy Hanoi. My name is Phu Nhuan, Chief Operating Officer and co-founder of Point Avenue. It's an honor and privilege to be able to host this event. Speak to Inspire Vietnam is a public speaking competition created to inspire Vietnamese youth and raise awareness on sustainability. I want to begin by thanking both Netflix and the U.S. Embassy Hanoi for bringing together this meaningful program for Vietnamese students. Joining us today are, representing Netflix, Ms. Victoria Furness, Vice President, Global Public Policy. Representing the U.S. Embassy Hanoi, Mrs. Holly Lindquist Thomas, Chief of Environment, Science, Technology, and Health Section. Representing Point Avenue, Mr. Danny Huang, Chief Executive Officer and Founder. Ms. Hae-Won Roh, Head of Debate Program, and of course, our hundreds of students here online who are passionate about contributing to a brighter and more sustainable future. Thank you, everyone. Please allow me to give an overview of today's agenda. First, we'll receive opening remarks from our three organizers, Netflix, the U.S. Embassy Hanoi, and Point Avenue. They'll discuss on why we've all collaborated together to deliver this very important and meaningful engagement to Vietnamese youths. Next, we've invited 3 special student guests to discuss their generation's thoughts and views on today's environmental, climate, and sustainability issues. In recent years, all of us have bore witness to the realities of climate change. More frequent and intense droughts, storms, heat waves, rising sea levels, and melting glaciers and warming oceans have become the new norm. Last year, the Mekong Delta province of South Trang experienced the worst drought and saltwater intrusion in recorded history, posing a significant challenge to the largest agricultural hub in Vietnam. Further north, the people of central Vietnam battled and weathered the worst flooding and landslides seen in the country, leaving thousands in the country without homes and bare essentials. These examples and many more convince me that the people affected by climate change are not some imagined future generation, but all of us today. Like many youths in other countries around the world, Vietnamese students are becoming increasingly aware of growing climate crisis. As an educator, I believe we must teach our students about the human impact on this planet and empower them to face and address our current environmental problems. Only through immediate, collective, and consistent action engagement are we able to create impact and a more sustainable future. For this reason, Point Avenue has partnered with Netflix and the U.S. Embassy, Hanoi, to bring together Speak to Inspire Vietnam. Let us get started by inviting Ms. Victoria Furness, Vice President, Global Public Policy at Netflix, who will deliver our opening remarks.
Xin chào, Vietnam. Thank you so much for being here with us today. My name is Victoria Furness, and I'm Vice President, Global Public Policy here at Netflix. And I'm really excited to welcome you to the kickoff of our new initiative, Speak to Inspire Vietnam. This is an English public speaking competition for Vietnamese youth across the country to raise awareness on sustainability and green initiatives brought to Vietnam by Netflix in partnership with the US Embassy Hanoi and organized by Point Avenue. As you may have seen, recently we launched an initiative called Southeast Asia Green Screen, aimed at helping us to better understand sustainability priorities across the region and how Netflix, as part of the region's entertainment industry, can help come up with sustainable solutions in partnership with both government and the industry. We're only at the start of this crucial journey in Southeast Asia, and we're really here to listen and to learn. But we think with the strong partnerships with the US Embassy and Point Avenue, we're confident that Speak to Inspire Vietnam will spur meaningful conversation on climate change, environmental protection, sustainability, and a number of green initiatives in the local community, especially young people. We know that Vietnam is one of the countries most affected by climate change. And you, my dear young friends, you're the future of Vietnam. So I really hope that you will actively participate in this journey with us to raise awareness about sustainability and climate change in your very own community. As we kick off today's event, I have a few people that I really need to thank. First and foremost, the US Embassy Hanoi and Point Avenue for working with us closely to get this off the ground. And of course, my regional and country team colleagues who've worked tirelessly to make this happen. And thank you all for being with us here today and joining us on this very exciting journey. I'll end with a quote from Nelson Mandela. He once said, "It always seems impossible until it is done." And so I really can't wait to see what you will all do with this competition. And I wish you the very best of luck. Thank you so much again for joining us.
Thank you, Ms. Furness, for your remarks. Next, Mrs. Thomas, Chief of Environment, Science, Technology, and Health Section at the U.S. Embassy Hanoi, will deliver her opening message.
Xin chào, Vietnam. I'm excited to join all of you today on behalf of the U.S. Mission in Vietnam. My name is Holly Lindquist Thomas, and I am Chief of the Environment, Science, Technology, and Health Section of our embassy in Hanoi. I would like to commend our partners at Netflix and the team at Point Avenue for their attention to the important issues of sustainability and environmental protection. This initiative aims to deepen engagement with young leaders on serious challenges that every country faces: climate change, loss of biodiversity, and pollution, and to ensure that Vietnam is prepared to take action. Governments have an important role to play in helping to create smart policies and developing innovative solutions to environmental problems. The U.S. government has invested millions of dollars in programs such as the Mekong-U.S. Partnership to help communities identify solutions for food, water, and energy security. We also commend the government of Vietnam for taking important steps to combat climate change, such as committing to zero emissions by 2050, promising no new coal plants will be constructed, and signing the Global Methane Pledge. But this work cannot be done by governments alone. It is also up to you, the young people of Vietnam, to carry the torch for future generations and to change the way we think and act. As more than a quarter of Vietnam's population is under the age of 30, this competition is an effort to harness the enormous potential of youth, to inspire change, and to expand awareness of these important issues. We look forward to hearing your ideas as you use creativity, critical thinking, and innovation to inspire each other to take action. We're looking for young leaders to step out of their comfort zone and to come together to become part of the solution. Are you ready to join us?
Thank you, Mrs. Thomas, for your message. Finally, I would like to invite Mr. Danny Huang and Ms. Hae-Won Rowe from Point Avenue, who will introduce us to Speak to Inspire Vietnam, our public speaking competition.
Good morning. On behalf of NPX Point Avenue, we are honored to be part of this special event. I'm Danny Huang, founder and CEO of NPX Point Avenue. Speak to Inspire Vietnam is the first English public speaking competition on sustainability brought to Vietnam by Netflix in partnership with the U.S. Embassy Hanoi and held by NPX Point Avenue for Vietnamese students, the future changemakers. NPX Point Avenue's mission is to empower leaders to transform the world through wisdom, integrity, and compassion. It's our privilege to help thousands of Vietnamese students understand the world and develop their talents to build their confidence, inspire their colleagues, and guide them to tackle world issues during the last 4 years. We believe that the students with a global perspective care about and contribute to their communities through engagement and improving infrastructure systems, and in turn create more sustainable cities such as Hanoi to make for stronger businesses and families. It's the butterfly effect. With the core theme of the competition this year, sustainability, we want to challenge our youth to think and act on what he or she can do to change for a better planet. The ambitions of a renowned international organization such as the United Nations and those of small business owner or a grade 11 student in school or a future university student may seem worlds apart. Speak to Inspire Vietnam opens doors for Vietnamese youth to speak with passion and confidence. Through this program, students will look through a global lens and ask the question, how can my idea create a sustainable world for my family and the people in Vietnam? The appetite for transformative change is growing to create a sustainable, healthy planet through programs like Speak to Inspire Vietnam. There is no single quick fix to the global crisis. No nation or company, organization, or individual can do it alone. But I believe that if each of us does our part, including you, the Gen Z, we can all find a way to live together in harmony on our planet. We can't wait to see how you will wow us with your stories on sustainability and move your idea into action. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Hae-Won Rowe. I'm the CEO of Debate for All, head of debate programs for Point Avenue, and the head coach for Team Vietnam, the national high school team for World Schools Debating Championship. As a debate educator for 15 years, I am a strong believer in the power of debate. Debate is an essential life skill that allows everyone to express their ideas in an empathetic manner, as well as challenge existing norms of our society. But debate really is a skill, along with speech and storytelling, that allows all of us to communicate. And communication is essential, especially in the world that we live in, with a global pandemic, as well as the fourth revolution of all of these changes that are happening in our society. Communication allows us to understand, collaborate, and truly thrive together as humanity. And Speak to Inspire Vietnam aims to fulfill just that. I want to share 3 highlights of our event by using the alphabet S. These words are going to be sustainability, sharing, and showcase. So first, about sustainability. Sustainability really means contemplating and analyzing ways in which we can live a meaningful future. It means talking about the environment and our friendly neighbors, like the trees, the flowers, the animals, and all of the natural wonders that we live with. We want this event to be an opportunity for you to be able to contemplate what it means to truly live a sustainable future. Second, sharing. Oftentimes, our conversations and our ideas for the future are shared within our closer circle, with our friends at school or with our family members. This event is an opportunity to share your ideas with like-minded peers across the nation. This is also an opportunity for you to listen and understand what others think about our future and sustainability. So we hope through sharing, you're able to build and inspire and encourage each other and communicate towards a brighter future. Thirdly is showcase. We believe that this is an event that will showcase Vietnamese talent on a global platform. Not only are we going to have renowned international experts join us to provide you feedback, encouragement, and growth, your videos that you're going to submit are going to be shown across the world. And we hope that you are just as excited to share to the world what you think about how we can thrive together on this planet Earth. So I hope you're truly excited to join us, and I look forward to listening to the voices of tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Danny and Ms. Hae-Wan, for introducing us to Speak to Inspire Vietnam, our public speaking competition. To start this competition, we've invited a special panel of students to share their thoughts on what sustainability means to them. First, we have Tran Phu, who's a grade 7 student here in Hanoi. She's a PA student and also a speech and debate enthusiast. Next, we have Tyan, who's a grade 11 student also here in Hanoi. She's a former 2021 World Schools Debating Championship Developmental Squad team member. And then last but not least, we have Thuy Linh, who's a university graduate. She's the founder of Glue Project, which is an environmental-focused nonprofit group. And she's also a Y. Sealy academic fellow of the U.S. Department of State, where she is studying environmental issues and global leadership at the University of Montana. So thank you all for joining today and very much welcome. I'm going to start today's questions here amongst our panelists by asking first, Tran Phu, right? What are your thoughts on sustainability? What does it mean to you?
So I think that sustainability is not doing negative things to the environment and also other aspects of life, and also being able to do things that are good for the future and for the environment, and also raising awareness so that others know about it.
I like that a lot. I like about talking about not doing bad, not doing evil, not having negative effects, and then raising awareness. Continue. Tyan?
So for me, I think sustainability means like meeting our own needs without like compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So environmental wise, I think it is about the governmental and corporational effort to come up with like policies or like business strategies that target the long-term development without like harming the environment in general. But I think the concept of sustainability is more than just environmentalism. I think it also addresses certain level of like social equity or like economic development as well.
I like a lot of words there. I mean, talking about balance, but more than anything, compromise, right? Trying to meet today's needs, today's generation's needs, but also considering being mindful, being empathetic of future generations' needs, and creating policies, strategies, tactics that kind of accommodate on that. That's very thoughtful. Thuy Linh?
Yeah, so sustainability for me means the factors to be noticed in every kind of developments and growth, for preventing the vulnerability and also for not putting things into the offsetting process. And for me, sustainability could divided into two main levels. The first level is self-sustainability, which is like the individual sustainability in self-growth with self-values recognitions and self-potential developments with well-equipped skill and knowledge of 21st century. And this is like very necessary and being a global citizens and global leaderships and also a change maker for society. And the second level of sustainability could be the sustainable and the society developments. And it reminds me of the three layers wedding cakes. The first layer of the wedding cakes would be the environmental layers. And the second layer in the middle is the society layers. And the last layer is the economics layers. And choose the basement of the cakes or the lowest layers of cake keep sustainable. The others developments in the middle layers and the top layers of the cakes will keep sustainable and stable. And I want to emphasize on the importance of environmental layers. And it is like the foundation for all the developments around in our society.
A very thoughtful and comprehensive answer. Thank you for sharing that. I really like the different tiering, right? The balance between, so we talked about balance between current generation, future generation, but talking about individual actions, how it meets like communal or society actions and how it kind of all drives together towards that third layer, talking about more economic actions and everything else. I really appreciate that. That's very comprehensive. I'm going to turn it first to Tanjop here. One of our first questions, would like to hear your thoughts. In terms of, when a lot of people think about environmental sustainability, kind of like, they question about what their own individual actions, which you talked about, Thuy Linh, right? It's just like, what does one person's actions mean, right? So I was wondering if you could share your thoughts, right, in terms of, how you regard the power of one person's individual actions, right? Or maybe perhaps give an example of what you do to kind of focus or drive or move forward towards maybe a cause you care about.
Okay, so I think that one person's action can do a lot, because if one person is doing a thing that is helping with sustainability and the environment, and every other individual also do those things, then they are unconsciously collaborating with each other, which is really good, because if everyone does the same thing, it's like collaborating, and collaborating can lead to many great impacts for our environment and also to sustainability itself.
Okay. Would you care to share an example of maybe like an action you do or maybe an action you observed from somebody else that has unconsciously caused you to mimic that or somebody else to mimic that?
I think that the simplest thing that I think I have done is like saving energy, maybe turning off the lights or turning off water when you don't use it. It's the simplest thing, but also in school projects, I've been able to turn plastic into bricks so that they can build houses. And it's I know that a few people do it, and then suddenly everyone start doing it. So it's kind of unconscious collaboration, and I think that it had brought a lot of impact for the environment and sustainability.
No, I definitely agree with that, and I've seen it, and it's kind of like one of those things that we do, wherever it is, whether you're in the classroom at school, whether you're even at home, right? Just something as simple as turning off the lights, like you said, turning off the water, right? I'm even mindful now of when I shave, because normally in the past when I shave, I would just leave the water on, like hot water, because I like shaving with hot water. But now it's just I always have to turn it off, and I shave a few and I turn it back on. But no, it's true, because it's basically, if you take care of the small things will take care of the bigger things, right? And I definitely believe in that. Good deal. Thank you. Tyan, your thoughts or answers to the same thing?
Okay. Obviously, I do think that individual effort does matter, but I want to talk more about the reasons why people don't think that their action matter, which is why they don't do it anyway. So talking of climate change, I think most developed countries are the cause of it, because obviously they have more modern technology, which allows them to conduct to the industrial revolution, but at the same time conducting harm to the environment. But the countries that face the direct consequences from that are unfortunately developing countries or countries that are not as developed as them. So I think that people only start to act when they see like the visible impact, which is obviously not about climate change because it's very slow and very gradual. So like they don't have the incentives to like change or like do something to protect the environment. That is the reason why. And so I think that when individual, they start to be like more mindful of the issue, knowing that what they did today might not impact them directly at the moment, but it will impact like people at different parts of the world. They might actually have the incentive to change it, and just as like gradual as the climate change happens, I think like our changes every day could also create like a gradual change, or at least like somehow slow down the pace of like the whole process.
Right. And it's kind of like, your response is, again, very thoughtful. And it's always been a educational process, right?
Yeah.
I mean, from basically global warming to climate change, I mean, pretty much scientific data like very clearly points to the fact that climate change and the environmental issues that are coming from it like are happening. And I liked how you were kind of comparing, contrasting how, people in, let's just say, more developed areas, countries, right, don't see the effects of what they're doing versus like people obviously, going through the industrialization process, more economic development, which comes with ways, right, they have to experience that. And the education process, if we're going to drive and convince the individual person that your actions do matter, we do need to help them understand through education that these are the effects of what we're doing collectively, right? Not just individual based. I like that. Kind of skipping forward to our final question here. Thuy Linh, talking about, you're involved in so many different things, environmental, climate focus. If we together or just individually, if you could create a program or advance a program to address one particular environmental sustainability issue that you care about, what would it be and why?
The programs that I always aspire to do is the leadership training programs, which focus more on the human factors, more than just like other social factor. Because I have emotions that leadership is leading myself first or leading yourself first, and then creating a social impact. So follow these motions. I aspire to do this program because I want to encourage people to be better version of themselves by experience more, by create themselves opportunity more to experience the outside world, so that they can have like sustainability inside themselves to be a change makers and to be a global leaders. And I aspire to apply the lifelong learning concept of the Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which is quality education, to inspire others to experience as much as possible, so that they can see that they are very valuable in the society, and they have a power to change the society. And also the next step of the programs would be like I want to lead people to generate the discussions on these transboundary problems, so everyone around them can raise awareness and can draw the attention about this global issue. And that is like the second step. And the third step would be like leading them to some kind of initiative to tackling the global issue, because we all know that the gaps from perspective into action is really large and really long. So I want to step by step train them to have like the self values, and train them to have like they have like the personal voice to raise attentions of people around about the global issue, and then doing some action by the initiative encouragements. And I think that is like the programs that I always want to make. And currently I'm doing kind of the group projects and also the 4G projects of the U.S. Department of State and also U.S. Embassy in Hanoi, and they are all related to environmental issue with lifelong learning concept. Yeah, and I believe that in the futures I can fulfill my dreams to have like the training program which is about leadership, more focusing on the human factor.
Okay. I really like that. I like the fact that obviously we're trying to create big change, right? Big impact, big change affecting the entire planet. But yet your answer kind of brought me back to realize and synthesize the fact that kind of any big changes, any big movements have always been started, founded, and driven by kind of like the thoughts and actions of a few, right? And rather than trying to change everybody's thoughts and feelings and actions all at once, it's just focusing on a very select core and kind of helping them understand, one, why is this important, and maybe helping them find the passion to further drive this and to kind of create change around their community. So kind of like developing leadership amongst youth, among the next generation to further carry this on. That's definitely important, right? And the more we can do that and kind of grow or spawn these programs, the better off we'll all be. So that's a great answer. Thank you. Joe, how about your thoughts?
So I think that most like the young generation today, like they do know about like sustainability and also like climate change and other problems that are like happening like in today's world that can like harm sustainability for the future. But the core reason I don't think that sometimes they don't do it is that they have never seen like what the actual impacts are. Like they have never seen like a beach full of trash, or like they have like never seen like what has happened to people who are impacted by climate change. And I think that what I really want is for them to like approach those people and learn what they have gone through and like understand what we should do to like have sustainability and also protect the environment, so that they have an urge in themselves, like a motivation to do something and also to tell other people to do something.
I like that. It's kind of like, yeah, you're right. And, we were talking a little bit earlier, comparing, contrasting the effects and actions of like developed countries versus like developing countries. And you could bring that all back to just specifically Vietnam, talking about like central Vietnam with a lot of like the flooded areas, lost homes, lost like essentials, talking about how like intense droughts followed by, the resulting aftermath, like a lot of our agricultural like hubs in the south of Vietnam, right, have been affected by the droughts, loss of water, saltwater intrusion. But, sometimes when you don't live in those particular areas, if you're going to school in, kind of nice, you live in a nice urban city, you have a nice home, you commute to school, and like you're not aware of all these things going on, but trying to make those experiences more relevant to everybody's life. It's like, this is what you're doing by driving towards waste, right? Whether it's energy waste, whether it's food waste, whether it's anything else, this is the cycle and the ramifications. So trying to make those experiences more relevant. I like that a lot. Tyon, your thoughts?
So because I am a debater, me and like my close community, so my fellow debaters or like my fellow schoolmates, we are taught like clearly about like environment and then sustainable development. So I think within like my close circle, like they are all very well aware of the issue and they have that willing to change for like the better. So what I think is that I would want to target a bigger circle, i.e. teenagers who are not yet known to me, teenagers who went to like public school or like different provinces, or even young adults who pay attention to the environment. But I think I would take a different approach, because I think the reason why people don't talk about like environment or like people don't want to take care of the environment is because it sounds cliche, right? Because we cannot just force them to do something to protect the environment. So what I think is that I would create workshops. That's obviously the best I could do as a debater, because I am taught like the skill to do so. But I would take like a more creative approach, because I know that Vietnamese people, we have like really great sense of patriotism and then fellowship. Mm-hmm. So I would target that by saying, by mentioning how social inequality might actually create disadvantage for like people of the lower class to protect the environment. Because obviously the alternatives to like protect the environment, for example, instead of buying plastic straw, we choose to buy like paper straw, or like instead of using like nylon bag, we choose to use like fiber one or something. It's obviously like 3 or 4 times more expensive. Yeah. So I think we could target that, so that people who are more privileged, they know that they can do something about it, to like somehow not only protect the environment but also balance the social inequality. I think that would be a more effective approach that I can get them to come to the workshop and maybe listen to some of the message that I want to carry.
Right. And it's kind of like, something I love about my time living in, experiencing Vietnam is just the pride that, obviously Vietnamese people, myself, I'm Vietnamese American, but I'm still very much Vietnamese, like that we have in all things Vietnam. And then talking about kind of like social responsibility, right? Yeah. I think like with like for example, like COVID, everybody very much galvanized quickly to do what they can to pitch in, right? to whether either protect the community against COVID or to support our medical responders. And trying to increase the sense of social responsibility has always struck a note with all things Vietnam, right? People want to take care of our country, right? And so trying to tier out, but focus the message of social responsibility, different groups, kind of like what you're saying, would be a very, I think that would just add a lot of value, right? And it'd be received very well. So that's a great, thank you for sharing that, right? I think that wraps up kind of the, initial questions we want to share here, but I do want to thank all three of you for taking time to spend time with us here today to share your thoughts on environmental sustainability, what it is today, what it means to you, and what it could mean if we all, came together and collaborated and worked on different things, right, at different levels, communities to make impact. So it's kind of my pride and privilege to be able here to spend time and further discuss with you. Thank you very much. Our special moment has come. Please join me as we commence the official opening of Speak to Inspire Vietnam, a public speaking competition. To conclude this ceremony, I'd like to borrow a quote from the famous English broadcaster, natural historian, and author David Attenborough, as said in the Netflix original documentary, David Attenborough, A Life on Our Planet, to end this event. If working apart, we are forces powerful enough to destabilize our planet, surely working together, we are powerful enough to save it. If we act now, we can put it right. Thank you all for tuning in to our official launching of the Speak to Inspire Vietnam public speaking competition, and good luck to all of you.